Okay, what is going on, everybody? Sorry I did not do a painting stream yesterday because, like I said, I pulled up and had a 3D printer in my driveway and I get distracted easily, and that is what I did yesterday, was mostly deal with the 3D printer and moving and rearranging stuff, and the idea of putting it over here did not work because the printer is actually bigger technically if you take into account the filament holder on the back, so it won't really fit. So we will not be doing that. Also, apologies for the YouTube peeps on that last painting stream. There were some of you in chat and I completely missed you because my OBS plugin was messed up and I did not know. Hopefully it looks correct now, so we'll see. I'll try to keep an eye on my screen back there also, just to make sure. I think, which, something else, I missed a leg for one of the Dwemer, and I did not even know it. And to be fair, you would never ever know it, but I did miss a leg, so I have to paint another one of those at some point. But these guys are now all glued up from the stream we did on Tuesday, maybe. But yeah, all these guys are all glued up. I still have to paint the base rims, but typically I'll just kind of batch paint a bunch of stuff and let it sit, and then I'll do all the base rims at once because nobody likes doing that. But yeah, we got our little speedy ball guys. So I'm gonna set all these off to the side because today we are primarily painting this mage, but I think a lot of similar colors are gonna be used on the courier. So we might try to paint him as well, but we're gonna mainly focus on this guy. I think this is gonna be a lot of speed paints, except for maybe the face. We'll see. So, okay. Clean this little guy out a little bit. I'm also going to use this as an opportunity to test this blue. I don't love the way that it looks on the cap, but technically the blue in the references, it is a pretty bright blue, but there's also kind of like a creamy tan that's used kind of on the bracers and the bottom trim and the boots. I don't really have a speed paint color like that, so I might try a little bit of mixing. I think that seems like probably the best course, because it's kind of like a tan white color almost. So we'll probably play around with some of that. Also, still have it a little sniffly, which is also part of why I wasn't exactly in a rush to stream yesterday, because I don't have my stream deck, so I cannot mute every time I need to. So apologies. Okay. It feels like I'm running into a dog, but I'm not. All right, where do we want to start? Honestly, I kind of want to start with the blue just because I'm curious. Yeah, we'll start with the blue. Why not? Because a lot of the other colors, again, are going to be... Sorry if you hear this. Run this mixer. This is especially a color that I don't think I've ever used. So I'm gonna hit this with a little bit of juice. Also, I messed with my microphone settings a little bit. Try to get rid of some of the clipping that was going on with the noise gate. Again, I haven't streamed up here in a little while, so we'll get there. Oh, man. Well, I know that this still needs, but I'm going to take that as an opportunity. Do not. She's sat, that's for sure. Granted, some of these colors were a little questionable almost since the time that I got them. But yeah, she's a little gunked up, but I'm gonna use it anyways. It's probably all right. Ooh. Gosh, sorry. Always don't want to get paint all over my hands, so I just like play this weird kind of wiggle until it lets go of the lid. Look at that. And we'll see if we can make it through today's stream without spilling something. You son of a... Yeah. Okay. So I need a decent sized brush and a small brush all at the same time. Some questionable spots in here. I'm trying to get a better look at what I'm gonna need to reach. Let's see. Brush. This brush feels all right. These are also, let's see, can you see that? There you go. They're just shitty little brushes from Hobby Lobby, and some of these specifically are like exactly, stop scratching, almost exactly the size that I would prefer. So that's just what I use. I'm just gonna use this straight. I'm not gonna thin this down or anything. What color was that? Tidal Wave Speed Paint. All right, let's see if it's as bright as it looks. Not super. We might actually hit that with a little bit of brighter something words, because it doesn't exactly have the pop that I was hoping. Also, trying to see what all needs to be blue based on their, box art essentially, because there's kind of a lot of folds going on. And okay. Try to be very careful around edges like that so that I don't flood something and end up with kind of a bunch of crap somewhere I don't want it to go. Yeah, you know. Some of that I'm just going to be a little out of luck on using speed paint and this brush, but is a-okay. I don't really see like triangular slice there. Definitely gone on that staff. I could feel it, but that is in a spot I'm not super worried about. I also don't know if I want to go gold on the staff or like a wood grain on the staff. Can't really tell in the reference stuff what exactly I'm looking at. So I might go gold, blue. It's kind of, kind of a thing that works, That's that. I think I need to hit some sleeves. Yep. This blue isn't quite as bright as I would have hoped for. But that is okay. I can always dry brush or kind of specifically highlight a little bit brighter in this case. But see, this doesn't really make sense because that also means that under that arm would be blue. Maybe just the whole thing's supposed to be blue except for the leather. That's the way it's painted. The way that it's sculpted is almost like there's some overcloth. Maybe this mage just really likes blue. we'll see how that dries. Ooh. Yeah, well, struggling with these little a-holes. Yeah, that's fair. Use a pin vise, drill a small hole into the peg. Yeah, that makes sense. A pin vise, I actually need to get a pin vise. It's one of those things you see all the time and I don't ever pick them up. That's one of those things you kind of don't run into and go, man, I really need this thing, until you are in a situation where you're, thinking you really need this thing. So most everything, my little cups work. Even this guy, he's wanting to fall off my cup. We could just do the straight up brown. That's well, actually, this little belt around his waist is also blue. I'll just hit this also. Okay. I mean, this is going to be a relatively simple guy, I think. Kind of like 3 colors, not counting the staff. But, again, hard to make out what I'm looking at. Kind of a bunch of dark brown, but it's also kind of maybe more of like a tan brown, which you would think would just be this, but this doesn't have a whole lot of saturation to it. So I need to add a little something. The brown leather that I like the most is Fire Drake, but this might be a little too saturated, so probably we'll mix the two of these. That's Fire Drake. Oh, so it's more of like a leathery kind of brown color. But I also need to see. Okay, kind of a different color. I mean, I feel like all this just looks like the same color on the reference material. And to be fair, he's the courier. I don't think he really needs to be all that complicated. Just some dingy browns, and that'll probably do him just fine. This is the original Fire Drake from a long time ago. Oh, let's see. Good grief, dude. God, I have not painted in it. This is also the original Bony Matter, I think. Dang. Okay. Let's go 2 Bony Matter and this isn't going to cooperate, is it? Yeah, maybe that's just too old. Thinking 2 to 1. We'll see where that gets us. God, this is also sad. Let's see if that 1 drop is enough to get us anywhere. Almost feels like it might be 2 brown still. And get stuff. I don't hate that. I think. Let's run with it. Why not? That's 2 bony matter and 1 fire drape. And something I tend to struggle with is differentiating the browns in a convincing way. But a lot of this is going to be brown that is not painted. Try to get stuff like this painted quick because it's such a big face. It's prone to having some weird drying issues, so try to get a reasonable coverage on it so that it can settle and kind of do what it wants to do. Trying to hit this inside edge without spilling over onto the face. Okay, so that's good. We're gonna go noble skin for his pants and his boots. He's got bare hands. I mean, this still ended up rather brown. But we're gonna hit his belt. That's one thing I do not like about that tidal wave, is that it tends to dry a little glossy. But stuff like this will get a like a matte clear anyway, so should tone it down, but it is a bit much. Okay, now do I want to paint his bag with the same brown or a different brown? I kind of feel like he could use a different brown, but I don't know if it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I don't love the way that blue has dried, but I almost missed part of his little shoulder thing here.
It's done. Yes, Mr. Frodo. It's over now.
Okay. Kind of tempted to go with a dark brown for the bag. Which, to be clear, I hate these browns because for whatever reason, they do not cover and dry the same as damn near all the other speed paints. Satchel brown and dark wood, I don't know why, I just don't ever have much luck with them. But I'm hoping painting in such a small space, maybe I'll be able to have a little bit more success. Or it's just going to be incredibly dark and be a mess. It's just a long rectangle too, so there's not really a good spot to start. So thick. Oh, that's messy, but that's Okay, it's kind of hidden. It's okay. Okay, that was very dark, but I do like the brown difference in the actual chest, so that's useful, I guess. But yeah, down below, I mean, technically it isn't a shadow, so it would be darker, but yeah, that's very, very dark. And I'm thinking noble skin. Yep, sorry if you can hear that. Again, I don't know why this guy will just sit on his motorcycle at the house next to us and just send it. I don't know. Noble skin is kind of like a weird, it's like a brown gray color. It's a really weird color. But in this case, I'm going to use it just to differentiate with all the other brown colors. That's good. Okay, so we need to sort out the weird kind of tan color. So, also, do any of the colors that I've used so far need to go onto this guy is the question. Really, I'm actually going to do that brown mixture for all of his boots and his pants. think I got up under his leg. It's kind of hard to see. That's okay. That's skin, and tan. Kind of weird, whatever, and brown. I think we're gonna put straight Fire Drake on his belt. So, and honestly, we might just do his shirt in straight bony matter, I think, or at least his little over tunic thingy he's got going on. So I'm actually going to use this bony matter Fire Drake mixture for the trim also, which is probably going to be a mistake, but here we go. Try to paint very light for the color that's going up under it. It's going to be a much lighter color, so it will show. Also, I'm not gonna lie, the Halo Flashpoint reveal that they're doing Noble Team and a bigger play board kind of makes me want to pick that up and give it another go. Those of you who have kind of kept up with the channel in any capacity, you'd know that I got into that when it came out. I bought all of Wave 2 and it just, I don't know, it hasn't done for me what I would have wanted it to do. So I haven't played a whole lot. I think the dice are kind of boring. But I'd be lying if I said that Noble Team did not look good. Okay, well, thank you, paint. I was gonna say, for not wanting to go. I'm gonna be extra careful because we're at the tippy top, brightest portion of this guy.
Welcome to Rivendell, Frodo Baggins.
Okay. Terrible. What about his little... No. Okay. So let's just actually go ahead and... We'll just go ahead and bony matter his tunic as well. and then we'll get back to the mage. And to be honest, I might just throw this color onto the trim for the mage as well. I do feel like it needs to be a little bit more white. I don't know where to start on this guy. Okay. A little once over check on some of this. Yeah, it's a good. That's a good color. And his hat is kind of a weird color, so I do got to figure out this kind of gray brown because kind of the same color on both of them. Well, let's just start. Let's do some experimenting. We got one ashen stone and one pallid bone. That is a shot in the dark, if I've ever heard it. I don't even know what that is. I mean, unfortunately, I don't know what that is. But it's kind of not obvious at all, which, to be fair, is kind of what I'm looking for. It's kind of got like a hint of like a brown tan, but it's kind of close to a white. We're just gonna send it. Yep. Throw it up here on his a little more tan in this setting. All right. It is all right. And his boots are kind of also, well, I feel like this color, so that's what it shall catch. Everything. I hit this rim, try to get him to stop trying to fall off this thing. I'm also trying so hard not to sniffle. Well, there's kind of missing some spark, isn't it?
Do not come between the Nazgul and his prey.
Yeah, see, I don't know. It kind of works better in that in this fella's kind of situation, I guess. I think we're gonna put it on his head too.
Nine rings were gifted to the race of men, who above all else desire power.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, but he's kind of dull. I guess that's just part of speed paint, maybe. I mean, he is. I don't know. I guess the blue's kind of a big letdown. I can't help but feel like the blue needs some assistance. Which I don't have my wet palette out, and I'm not going to get it set up, so we're just going to do this the hard way. We'll try this blue, actually. Oh, don't do this to me. Live, blue, live. My little, got a little paint poker thingy. All right, let's see. Is that enough? No. Wow. Nozzle's just all gummed up. There we go. Yeah, let's try this blue first. Let's try this blue first. Again, I am not a great highlighter, if you will. Not something I do a whole lot, so I will take the opportunity to try if I could find a brush that I want to use. Really need to just open the pack of new brushes, and no, we'll try this brush. Why not? Okay. Some water in here. Okay. So this is Warpaints Fanatics Crystal Blue. Again, I'm kind of taking a little bit more of like an edge highlighting approach here, which I know is not entirely correct. I just kind of want to get a little bit more life into that blue. And maybe I'll do another pass over top of that. Second. This is a little hard. Okay.
Go back, Steph! Going to Mordor alone. Of course you are. Then I'm coming with you!
think some of this is just a little too harsh. But not something I do a whole lot, so I don't really know how to make it less like contrasty, if that makes sense. Which, you know, depending on what it is, contrast is good, but when you're talking about a difference in fabric that is rolling, I don't think contrast is great. Gotta do one sleeve. There. I already feel better about that blue. Maybe just from a tone. Maybe because it covered up some of that shine. And I think I decided I might just leave it there. The blue instead of doing the light blue, just because I do like that blue, but I just can't help it. This is where it all goes downhill.
It's done. Yes, Mr. Frodo. It's over now.
Give it a tiny little bit of brightness. Ah, God dang. I apologize. I can't breathe. Oh, also, this is a model color deep sky blue. Just for those of you curious what I'm butchering this fabric with. I think I'm gonna leave that blue alone. I am mostly okay with that. One of these days I just need to print out a bunch of capes and just paint the capes until I figure it out. Again, I also feel like the tan type of thing that's going on could probably use a little bit of love as well. I just don't know with what. I feel like this is too bright. I'm trying to like very lightly feather in some brightness without just like straight up brightening that spot completely. That looks a little rough, but that's okay. Trying to add a little bit more visual interest to this tan. Whether that's working or not, who's to say? I can live with that. Something that I do like is a little bit of almost edge highlighting, a little bit of I guess it's more of an edge defining kind of a dry brush. Hit some of these. Edges just to give it something. Good with that. Technically, these little guys should also probably be tan, but I do that in a real lazy way, like almost dry brushing them. Good enough. Let's go ahead and we'll do the gold on the staff, which I'm actually gonna paint up the exact same way that I did the Dwemer, just because I like the way that color works. So we're gonna go hoplite gold on the staff. We'll do Nolan oil over top of that. And we'll see about the dry brush because it's in a weird spot, and it might be a bit of a mess. So we'll try this brush. We'll see how this goes. And the undersides of things don't really matter. I'm just get weirdly particular about some things. Okay. And trying to keep an eye on where this fireball is. I don't know how I'm gonna paint this fireball just yet. So is all of the staff, which, like I said, that blue and the gold I do like, so that's pretty good. Okay. I'm tempted just to throw a straight orange over it and see, but I know it's going to be too dark. And we could try something like this, but that's probably not going to be super vibrant either. Honestly, I might just try something and see. I've got to come up with an easy enough way to do fire in a way that I like. So, like, this orange is very dark. So, I need like a speed paint neon orange. That's what I need. But we need to hit this little fella's belt, and then we need to hit some skin tones, which for the most part, I have kind of narrowed down the way that I like to do skin as far as getting a satisfying result. We'll see. I need a fire drake for this little fella's belt. I had a viewer on the last painting stream talking about not even knowing that Call to Arms existed, which I would be curious to know for how many people who would be interested, how many people that's true for, because I only came across Call to Arms when the Fallout TV show came out, and I was just in a Fallout mood and went looking to see, I wonder if there's a Fallout tabletop game. And then found Modiphius, and then Call to Arms, and, you know, I haven't played Wasteland Warfare yet, but it does seem like a incredibly niche game, which is weird because it's from one of like the most popular games to ever show up, apparently. Skin tones. Also, for the little scroll on the courier, we're just gonna do pallid bone, and that'll be nice and easy. It does look like it has a wax seal on it, so we'll hit that with red. But we just gotta do skin tones. Skin tone. Okay, we're just gonna do. I just picked one of these three. We'll use ruby skin for both of these guys. Why not? And of course, it's gonna be difficult. And then we will do Reichland Flesh Shade over top of this. Now, the problem with this is going to be not getting it all over everything else. Isn't that the story of miniature paint?
There's always been a Baggins
Snip.
living here under the hill
One little stray.
in Baggin. There always will be.
Tiny little stray thing. try this brush. Let's thin this down. Which is also not something I'm great at. I was getting decent at it, and then I stopped painting. Feels too thin, but I think this color in general seems to be a little bit thin. Whatever. Well, once again, I got a little
Welcome to Rivendell.
little straggler that's making this extra difficult for me. Jeez, dude. Okay. Now the extra shitty part of this, we're gonna be trying to get to his neck. Guy over there. Which again, all you golden demon people are I don't know how y'all do it. Okay, not terrible. You know, at least a first very thin coat, better than I expected. Okay. Not worried about making this perfect. It's kind of just to get skin color into the space, and then the flesh shade will kind of cover up some of it, but it'll get the point across. I'm not worrying about blocking in everything exactly perfect, because I would rather have a little bit of a buffer than to try to paint flush right up to something, and then you have like overflow and it just doesn't look super great. So some of this is kind of intentionally being done. I think that is good. Ready for some shade. I will go ahead and block in this dude as well. I can't ever figure out a good way to do beards. I would rather use speed paint for the beard, just out of, I don't know what. But do you do skin, then the speed paint? This is where there's probably going to be some intentional gapping between the face and the edge of the hood. And because I don't want to do almost what just got done right there. Just hitting the edge of something is going to mess it all up. So try to go back in and block that with something. I don't know. I always struggle with beards and stuff like that for some reason. I mean, to be fair, faces in general. obviously with this skin tone kind of base coat, in most of these cases I am doing two relatively thin kind of base coats. Depending on where it is, I'm not, super worried about how crystal clear it is. But like this hand in general is kind of obscured. For that to dry, I'm thinking this weird coppery bronze color for that ring on the shoulder. Why? Enough to hit that. Quirky, weird color. There you go.
Gifted to the race of men who, above all else, desire power.
Let's go ahead and flesh shade one of our guys here. Another thing I always find kind of tricky is getting enough for it to pool, but not so much that it just overtakes everything. Like any wash type of paint, it's a little tricky. It's not perfect, but will do, I think. We gotta wait for it might be dry enough. It's probably dry enough. It ain't a perfect science anyways. And trying not to flood out. face. Okay. Close this before I spill it. Reichland Flesh Shade. I have tried a handful of different combinations with speed paints and whatever to get like a satisfying enough skin tone that I think works. And that's just kind of what I've landed on. In some cases, I'll do one of those 3 colors. So agate skin, barbarian flesh, or ruby skin. I'll do flesh shade, and then I'll do ruby skin. It's just kind of like an edge highlight kind of final pass. But in models like this, I'm content enough with just the one pass kind of take. So we are nearing completion on these fellas, but we do have the bases. I'm going to set aside some of this just to change it up for a moment. We're going to do the same stippling that we did on the other ones to prep these for, in some cases, a little bit of speed paint. But again, most of this stuff, especially outdoor stuff, gets snow put over it anyways. So the kind of have to just keep that in mind, I guess, when I paint some of this stuff. So we're going to start with War Paint Uniform Gray. We'll use a slightly larger brush. And this is giving us that kind of stone texture. These are sculpted with a little bit of texture, to be fair, but you know. I'll just layer up some passes of this, essentially. And I think we might actually treat this, I don't know if that's supposed to be a rock or a pile of mud. And we're going to stipple the whole thing the same regardless right this moment, but also going to stipple the signpost because it'll get speed paint over it. So good. Okay. Get out as much of this dark gray, because now we're moving to a slightly lighter gray. This is game color Stonewall Gray. It's almost like it's for this purpose. Also, we talked about it before making, or maybe that was in the Discord, making some wood tiles. And I might do that. I've only got 2 scrap pieces of the foam. But that's at least 2 wood tiles, and you know, you guys can make as many as you would want or need for whatever it is, just for some various things that I might be doing soon, and I'm gonna probably try to do those into like a crafty kind of how-to video, I think. I don't know, that's still just kind of feeling like a pile of dirt to me, but why would it be a pile of dirt is the question. Although I guess also, how would they have... Kind of seems like overkill at this point for it to not just be a pile of mud. Hell, I don't know. I think I might do it as dirt just because it could use some color diversity. Set that aside for a moment because we're going to hit all of this with just a little bit of white dry brushing just to bring out any little bit of the edges. Kind of went overkill on the gray. This is already a bit much. I also considered doing some of the trim on this base in gold, just because I can. And I might, to be fair. It just doesn't feel right. Being stone, I feel like it should be mud. Actually, what is it on theirs? It technically is a stone on theirs, but they've also got like grass. Maybe I'll just do some mud and that can stay a stone. I don't know. I think maybe just to have a little bit of interest, I might thin down just a little bit of Gravelord Gray. Hate that. And it's always Gravelord Gray that does it, not any other color. And do kind of the in-betweens here. Speed paint. Let's go 2-to-1. I'm mainly looking for a tint more than an actual darkening, if that makes sense. I mean, I guess technically darkening something is tinting it, but I want it to stay in the same vein, just be a smidge darker. I want to keep the texture of it the same. I've got to keep it thin enough to get the see-through portion, while still tinting it. You know what? Don't judge me. That is perfect. Still looks like concrete, it's just a little bit darker. Not much, but it is there. That's something. Okay, let's do some brown real quick. I'm gonna put some mud on this base here. This is bootstrap brown. Again, this will probably get snow over it as well, so I'm not super worried about anything when it comes to the specifics, I guess, of it. We might be able to use what's over here. Let's see. Yeah. Get some real light skeleton bone. Just add a tiny little bit of texture to the dirt. I don't know, these bases could be much more interesting, but that's okay. That's what the snow's for. Cover up what could be. So, set. Oh, no, we need to do the sign. And I think, technically, it's probably a dark wood sign. Hate it. But, I'm trying it. I'm gonna go like 2-to-1 maybe, just to try to give it a little bit of extra flowiness, because this dark paint, this dark wood always seems like it doesn't want to go. It's like not the same watery consistency that the rest of it is. That's good. Now the hard part of painting a circle in a timely manner, so that you can catch up to all the edges before those edges start to dry. That'll work. That will work. Technically, I could chicken scratch something on there, but I don't even know what I would try to write. So, might not. Could also just do the old scribble text, but there's wood grain all over that. I don't think that would work super well. This zealot yellow is just gonna look yellow. but we're gonna try it because there's also sunrise, but that's fine. Yeah, let's just try. All right, let's see. Okay. I can see the yellows and the oranges. Interesting. Could definitely use like a white dry brushing maybe just to help it a little, because it's not a terrible color. You kind of get oranges and the yellows, which is nice. It would probably help to like purposefully repaint over these areas to make them bright white, and then do this. Probably read a little better. That's not bad. I don't hate that. And to be honest, without doing anything else, if you really wanted, that would be completely passable. Yeah, Annie, to be fair, that happens literally every single time we go to that house. Because literally the next day. What's up, Eagle? You know, started out kind of feeling some type of way about this little guy. He's coming along. Oh, I'll take that. Bro messaging me, I believe. Yeah. Oh. Well, that yellow is drying. We can paint the scroll. Which nobody told me, I missed a leg when we painted all these dwimmers on Tuesday. Nobody told me that one of them was missing a leg, so I gotta paint that leg at some point. But we're just knocking out 2 of these adventure fellas for Elder Scrolls Call to Arms, which again, it's not a game that people seem to know about, which is interesting. Because I did finally get the rest of the crew painted or printed. Try not to squish. So we've got 6 kind of Dark Brotherhood, 6 actual Dark Brotherhood adventurers. We've got a Doge. These are all just regular adventurers. We've got Imperial, Stormcloaks, Spriggans. So we're going to be doing these for a little while, I think, because it's the only way I'm going to have the discipline enough to get all of these painted. Because to be fair, this mage wouldn't exactly have been on the top of the list to paint, but now that I've painted him, I actually like him a good bit, so that's nice. What was I doing? Painting a scroll. That's what I was doing. Which I had some of the actual finished models up here with the snow on it, because I keep talking about snow, but whatever. Y'all watch any of the Elder Scrolls stuff on the channel, you would know. You would know. Got snow all over the Elder Scrolls stuff. Where's my mouse? Whew. What now? What now? Oh, I still gotta try to paint that dude's face. His facial hair is brown in the reference stuff, but
There's always been a Baggins.
I mean, I guess every mage ever has gray hair, so I guess I could do it brown. Could just try to do this dark wood color, actually, that I just painted this signpost with. Maybe I'll do that. He's a little... Where's that little straggler that's been bugging me? I think I got it. One of these days I will just open this pack of brushes that I have.
Welcome to Rivendell, Frodo Baggins.
I can't see what I'm doing. Hate painting facial hair. Whatever. It'll be fine, especially once it dries and it's not all glossy and distracting me. Ooh. Check, check, check. Okay. I feel like I should try to scribble something onto this sign just for the sake of it. Yeah, the 3D printer just finished, theoretically. I did print a word wall yesterday as a test, and that was glorious. Yeah, that's true. I get kind of exhausted painting like just a million Stormcloaks or a bunch of Imperials. So it's really hard to do this scribbling when the sign wants to, or the brush wants to catch all the wood grain. Whatever. Something's better than nothing. Who's to say it's not words? You don't know. And that slightly darker gray bit is exactly what I wanted it to be, I guess. His facial hair is a little weird now, but whatever. Okay, let's do a final little bit of white, I think, on the fire. because I feel like it must. But I like want it specific. I don't want to just like try not to drown this in white. Yeah, I don't love that fire. It needs to be more orange, but got a red wash. Might make it too red. Am I printing the terrain as resin? No, I'm not. Primarily because I really hate dealing with the resin printer. Now, I didn't print from the Chapter 1 campaign. I didn't print a bunch of the terrain, like the Draugr walls and stuff. I didn't print those just because I was printing something else that I could kind of use. I am tempted to print the Dwemer stuff, but that's a lot of resin. And for the tabletop stuff, for the most part, I want like an accurate representation of the thing. I don't need a perfect thing. And you could print, especially now I've got a Bamboo Labs P1S, so it prints super duper fast. And honestly, the quality is really good. I wish I had that word wall up here. I would show you, but I printed some, like the Draugr caskets from Chapter 1. I printed those on FDM, and that's what I use in my videos. And they're fine, especially like once you paint them up, you do some dry brushing and stuff. Like I don't know. I don't see enough of a benefit for what I want it for to go through the hassle of printing it in resin. And then if I drop it and break it or something, it ain't that big of a deal. Kind of tempted to try to thin this down and put it over the fire. 1 to 1. Typically, I paint eyes. I just kind of don't feel like painting the eyes right now, so I will do that at another time. Especially because one of these dudes is wearing a hood, and that notoriously, for some reason, makes it very hard for me to paint eyes. So, let's see, what are we working with? That is still very dark orange. Go for another drop of medium. I need it to be strong enough to tint, but not so overpowering that it just, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm also pretty sure that they added the Elder Dragon for the Chapter 2 campaign to the library today. Might have a whole other thing to paint or print. And like talking about terrain, if that tower is if the tower for the Elder Dragon is the same tower from Chapter 1, I will be printing the dragon and I guess his base, if it's a part of that, in resin, and then the actual tower and the diorama base that goes with the Elder Dragon, that'll all be in FD. Yeah. I got the P1S because I just thought it looked neat, to be completely honest. I like having the camera and all the other, like, I guess, features of the P1S, but I didn't get the AMS or the P1S because I'm just not worried about it. Most of the stuff I'm printing and I'm painting anyway, so having the multicolored printing doesn't really do me any favors right this moment. Maybe I'll deal with that down the road, but I was coming from a Creality CR10 and an Ender 3 V2, and having, that was what, a 7-inch print bed and a 12-inch print bed. Maybe it was bigger, but at least a 12-inch print bed. Going to the P1S that had a 10-inch print bed just seemed like the happy spot. And so far it's been great. Actually, what's on the print right now is treasure chests from Chapter 1 and their bases, and some of the Dwemer scatter, like the table and stuff like that. It's actually on the bamboo right now. I don't know, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. I like this little fire. Like, that looks fine, but this technically gets yellow toward the end of it, but it's rather strong on the orange. I still feel like it needs a little bit of white, at least on the front end, just to brighten it up. I'm gonna use this flat brush. You know what? Might just cut my losses on that. I think there's a better way to do that, and maybe like a white oil wash or something. Hell, I don't know. I didn't see the Forge Master, but I am pretty sure. Library. Elder Scrolls Call to Arms Print at Home Elder Dragon. It is on there, but the only picture is like a close-up of the rendering of the head. That's not like the usual kind of promo things, but this is also a unique thing, so its models very well may be on there. I haven't downloaded them to check yet. I was just doing some admin things before doing this stream at home. So, yeah, it's in the library. Um, Yeah. Okay. And we have one. Again, I still need to paint their eyes. I will do that at another point. But we have one last thing that needs to be done. And that is a tiny little bit of red on this official seal. They said it was, and the base was meant to be removable. Yeah, and that's the thing. If the base that kind of looks like ruins, and the dragon or whatever, I will probably do that base in resin, but to do everything below the base in FDM. But the base and his dragon will be resin, and I think once it's all painted up, because I'll paint them all the same, I don't think it'll be that big of a deal, especially with how good the quality is for the bamboo printers, I think. All right. I don't remember if I painted that or not. I'm pretty sure I did. He also has a little brooch on his shirt that I will have to paint silver at some point. But he is a courier, and that is fine. And need this color just to cap off that little spot on his foot that he was stuck to, and that short of his eyes will do it for him. And again, these bases get snow and stuff, so I'm not super worried about some of that. But our little bonus guy for today, there's like a high spot there that bugs me. And to be fair, I might actually dry brush that sign a little bit with skeleton bone also, just to get a little bit of something else out of that. But yeah, got our little courier. I don't know what the hell this dude does or what he's for, because I can't imagine he does anything. I don't know if he's just one of the objectives for maybe that chapter 1 campaign book. That wouldn't make sense, would it? I don't know. And there's our little mage guy, which actually I really dig his model and his sculpt. So much so, I think he could pass as a Stormcloak mage with that blue. I might try to use him as some sort of primary character for something, because I talked about trying to do a narrative series for like a fortress siege using Corwin's homebrew kind of rules. I might do that, but I think it would make the most sense to do it as like Stormcloaks versus Imperials. Slap chop this leg that I forgot about real quick. Doesn't need to be perfect because you kind of can't see it as it is, but I didn't really have any feelings about the Dwemer stuff initially, but they were so satisfying to put together, like as a model from start to finish, painting all of it. The final finished product is just really satisfying, actually. right. Not obvious. That's okay. It'll paint up all the same. Yeah, I mean that's exactly where I'm coming from. It's just not worth the hassle. Like I couldn't imagine trying to print that that watchtower with resin, and it'd be so heavy and clunky.
Then I'm coming with you.
Oh yeah, might want to paint up here. I'm just, to be fair, I'm just doing this while I've got paint out and a brush in my hand. Otherwise, that Dwemer very well just may go legless and not the archer. All right, there we go. That's a start. Now we'll just wait for that to dry. I could do some earth shade on it and glue that sucker down, and that Dwemer will be done. The Dwemer in question is this guy. Yeah, he's missing a leg. I didn't even notice until I was gluing them all down, and then realized that I was a leg short. So. All right, man, I really dig the way this guy came out. His base is kind of boring. It is what it is. I'm not, technically I could just go over all of the sculpted bases and just base on top of it, but I try to just use what they sculpt and short of adding some snow. Now, let's see, what's tomorrow? Friday. I don't know what the plan is tomorrow. I will probably, my plan is to try to get back to live streaming the battle reports. It's kind of just hanging out playing the games down in the game room, but trying to do that with the narrative thing, I don't know, maybe I'll just stream the narrative thing and I'll just have the opening and the closing kind of cinematic type of videos preloaded. I could do that. I don't know, but as far as tomorrow goes, what will we paint? Will we paint? We will probably paint. Again, I kind of need to keep pace, otherwise, could go ahead and get this little guy painted up. We already painted up one of him, but that will not take super duper long, I don't think. He was kind of did him in a simple way, so we might. I don't really feel like painting this dude. Maybe we'll test paint a Spriggan, because to be fair, the exact same problem I just had with that fireball, I'm gonna have tenfold with one of these, and they're hard to even make out what the hell is going on them. So yeah, I don't know. We'll figure that out tomorrow. We'll probably, unless I have some plans that get made for me, I'll probably try to stream tomorrow and do some more painting. At least paint up this troll. And maybe we'll do some base rimming tomorrow. I don't know. But that is going to do it for today. I know that much. I am going to go check on the printers and do some more upkeep stuff. And I gotta check out the Eldor Dragon, because that might cause a whole bunch of problems. I don't know if I want to stream painting that either, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. That is gonna do it. I appreciate all y'all sitting here and hanging out. I will see y'all tomorrow, most likely. All right? Yeah. All right. I'll see you all guys.
The power of the dark side.